Look how fun this is. I'm about to go skateboarding. And there I go. This is a skateboard ride that I did the other day, mostly to try out these brand new shoes. And also, this is a fairly new skateboard as well. And I'm just riding from one end of Treasure Island up to the drawbridge at John's Pass, and then turn around and come back. It's not a very long ride, maybe 5 miles total. Mostly to get the feel of these new shoes and to go for a skateboard ride. They are New Balance, I think 1010s, and they are, I know now because the skateboard ride is over when I'm recording this, but I did not know it at the time. The reason I got them was, this lady. I don't know how she doesn't. I don't know how. There's a lot of people who take up the whole path, go in one direction, which, if you want to walk side by side with your whole 8 people family, that's fine, but at least have the presence of mind when something's coming to not do that anymore. You can't have the whole path for one direction. There has to be some path that people can go around you. But the shoes, I saw a review for them, and they are supposedly, according to the reviewer, have a wide toe box for skate shoes, because I've always had a problem. I got big stupid triangles like Pelican where my feet should be, and I have to get wide shoes, and they don't make any that I know of skate shoes in like a wide, extra wide size. So I usually, lately, I've been wearing Hokas, and they kind of spoiled me because they, for my feet anyway, the extra wide Hokas feel broken in from day one, and there's a lot of padding. There's no board feel. I wouldn't use them if you want to ride, around the park or something. But for pushing, there's very good padding, and they're wide enough that they don't bother my feet at all. And from day one, they feel the same as day 100. There's no real break-in period. So I've been using Hokas, but I wanted some skate shoes too. So I decided to try these because the reviewer said they have a wide toe box. And they do not. It may be a little bit wider than skate shoes, but it's nowhere near as wide as my feet are, because I'm probably this far into it, and I can already tell they're going to bother me. And by the end of the ride, my feet hurt. So I'm not going to wear these shoes for quite a while, because Ultra Skate's coming up in a couple of months, and I need to take care of my feet. Before that, maybe after Ultra Skate, I'll pull them off the shelf and wear them for like a week or two solid, force myself, and see if they stretch out and they become skateable. Or if not, oh well, no big loss. I'll just keep wearing something else. This is the beach. This beach is very long, so you can't even see the water over there. And there's still some, you can see like that fence on the side is because they still have that public parking closed. And throughout it, you might see some other things that are storm damagey. Look at these sand. This sand, small wheels would probably drag and stop in a little bit of the sand. That's something cool about these dad bods, is they kind of plow right through it. But there's some storm damage. These shoes make me grumpy. As far the dad bods, I've had dad bods on a loaded Fathom. This is the loaded Tangent. This is the thing they made after the Fathom that's like the Fathom, but the deck is a little bit longer and has, the Fathom had a touch of camber. This one has a touch of rocker, so it feels a little lower, especially because it's a little wider. It also, like the Fathom, has the collaboration with GBomb brackets, the non-adjustable ones, and comes with the dad bods, and it comes with Paris trucks. And I like Paris trucks, but on the Fathom, I really liked this set of 8.5-inch Slappy trucks that I have on here. So I threw those on here when I got it to try it out, but that's really the only thing I've changed. I really like how the Slappy trucks turn. And that's the only thing I changed other than the grip tape. I guess the grip tape, I always put a little bit of grip tape on. Like, I like the leopard print because it's funny. And also, I like to spray paint a little stencil of my dog's head and crossbones. My dog passed last year, so this is my first year without her around, and that still bothers me a lot. If you ever saw me at previous than this past year, the ones before that, the Ultra Skates, she was always there with me. There's a little tiny Chihuahua named Liberty, and my girlfriend always had her in a little basket carry thing with her, and you may have seen her there before. She moved on, and it's hard to talk about, so I gotta change the subject. What else this year? Polarizers. I bought a lot of polarizers this year. It started with, I saw some of the Fiberflex, like the old G&S boards were reissued, and I had wanted one of those for a long time, but I don't really like buying old stuff because then I'm like conflicted whether I should wreck it or not. So I always wanted a Fiberflex, like the Slalom, like the cool old school G&S boards, but I never got one because they were never reissued until I saw some reissued this year, and I picked up one of the Fiberflex Slaloms and also the Neil Blender Fiberflex version, and then that got me into the whole rabbit hole of Neil Blender's company, the heated wheel, and the cool little trucks he's making, and his wheels and his polarizer decks. And then just recently, even cooler, Bones started to make dragons in an 88A formula, and they made a Blender model. I think it's a touch small for me. Maybe my pavement's rougher than some people's where they ride those, but they're pretty cool. And then I got some of the even larger dragons. Back to the polarizers. Polarizers are awesome because when I was a kid, everything was fat. Like decks. My first deck was a Gator that was probably like 9.5 inches wide, and my next deck was a Ray Underhill, like Bones Brigade era, that kind of stuff. And they were very wide, and you had wide trucks, and you had that old school shape to them. The first Gator I had a nose, but barely a nose. It was maybe only 2 or 3 inches long. So it was that era of skateboarding. But somehow I had picked up a set of tracker trucks. They might have been the mid-track, maybe the half-tracks. I think the mid-tracks. Maybe whatever one, I think it was around the 110-ish millimeter bat model. And anytime I would have a deck that would razor tail too much, that was a big bump. Anytime I would have a deck that would razor tail, I would cut it into a narrow shape of my own to make it fit those G&S trucks, and that would kind of be my second board until, whatever my big board got razor tailed in, and I'd cut it, and I'd kind of cycle through boards that way, always having just 2 setups, which is very different than today. I have too many setups now, but back then, I guess I wasn't flipping them upside down like the polarizers are now, but I guess I was kind of making a polarized-ish setups back then with my taken, and it's Christmas. That's how I would know what to get my dad for Christmas, because whenever I would make these polarizers, I would usually doll some drill bit or bend a jigsaw blade, because I'm like 12, I don't know how the hell tools work. And then every Christmas, whatever tools I broke of my dad's, that's what I would buy him for Christmas. So that's polarizers. I kind of made polarizers when I was a kid, and now they're a thing. I've bought a handful of them, and they're super fun. So I ride those around the neighborhood a lot. Other than polarizers, this year I've gotten a couple more Flex Decks skateboards. Those are awesome. I have had those for like a long time back. I think the first ones I still have are when they were green, when the material they used to make them was green. and then it was gray for a while, and now it's white. I don't know if there was any colors in between because it kind of fell off for a bit. But now they're back, and the material's the same, but it's white. And I have a couple of different ones of those that are some real fun shapes. I usually don't like decks that are very flexible, but those are pretty flexible, and somehow they're still fun. I don't know what it is about that material. It's heavy. It doesn't seem like it'd be that awesome, but when you ride them, they're just super, super fun. They're weird in that I have trouble finding trucks for them. I think I have the Paris trucks that came off of this loaded board I'm riding in this video on them right now, because I always feel like they're a middle width. Like, if Paris made like some 135 trucks. Speaking of which, the new caliber, those narrow caliber, like cast-ish, precision-ish, narrower trucks they make, those are very awesome. This year I started to pump a little bit, which I never really did before. I mean, on a surf skate, yeah, of course, I would pump a little bit. But I've been skateboarding since I was 12 and I'm in my 40s now. I've been skateboarding for a very long time. And up until 10 years ago when I found out surf skates were a thing, I never really pumped before. And then I never really pumped on long distance. When I found out long distance was a thing 5 years ago, I always just pushed, and I always pushed with one leg up until last year. I started to use one of the Handboard's poles, and that gave me, since I only use one leg, that gave me like a second form of propelling myself. And then now this year, just for some reason, I'm starting to pump a little bit, and that's given me another way to propel myself. So I guess, who knows, maybe in another year I'll start to push with the other leg. But old dog's new tricks, I don't know that I'm going to be, I don't know I'll ever pick up riding with the wrong foot, because then I'd have to push Mongo, and that's, look, I'm all, like right now, I'm all grabbing this skateboard, and that's supposed to be not cool, so I don't mind that. So maybe I can push Mongo and feel okay about it. Who knows, maybe I'll do that at some point. But, it's from the Handboards, the pole. I had two of their adjustable poles previously, and then just a month ago, I picked up one of their poles that you glue together that doesn't have the adjustable piece. And boy, it feels cool. I don't know so much that it's the not having the adjustable part. That makes it look, like in the hand, I think that makes it look sleeker, and maybe mentally in my head it feels like it's better because of that. But it has the small end on it instead of the big one, and that I think makes the biggest difference for me. It feels so much lighter. I don't know that if the decreased surface area, if for traction that would ever be an issue, maybe if it was wet or something, but it hasn't been an issue so far, and boy does it feel cool. So I like that. I like this new pole. I'm going to play with it among other things. And where we got there from those little calibers and me starting to pump, this setup, not so much a pumper at all, but I've set my normal board up to pump. The board I ride most for long distance, if I'm going out specifically for long distance, is a Zenit BB deck. I had the BB Plus deck too, but it's not really my thing. It's too flexible. So I tried the BB, the smaller one, stiffer one, and I like that deck a lot. And on the back, I have a TTX tail from GBomb that I like a lot. And on the front, I have Mark's new bracket, the whatever the composite one is, the new one from GBomb, and I like it. It's a little bit flexible. I might switch that to the older composite bracket. And then I have a Valkyrie Slalom on that bracket, which I really like. And for wheels, right now I have the seismic megawatts on it, but I think I've used speed vents mostly, and I think I'll go back to speed vents because I don't really see, again, maybe it's just the pavement where I'm at. Maybe if I went somewhere to like, I don't know, but the megawatts, they're fine, but I'm probably going to go back to speed vents. Speed vents, I'm speeding this up because this was too long of walking through the sand for anyone to sit through. If you ever walk through the sand, I don't even want to walk through that much sand in person, let alone watch it. So the Valkyrie front truck that was on the setup I was talking about, I think that's what really made me enjoy pumping a little bit. So I've been running that truck with, and it only has one bushing in it, and I put the looser of the couple bushings that came with it in it, and dang, it pumps super nice. Like, I don't know if it's that setup or just me getting accustomed to things, but I feel like that setup has made me unlock pumping a little bit. I was wiping some sand off the lens there. I don't know. I like that truck. I like that truck a lot, and I feel like I can pump on it like I not on any other truck. At least truck on a bracket deck. Because back to those little calibers. The little calibers, I have two Bossa top mount decks that I had picked up a while ago, but I never really got set up right. And on one of them, I put those little caliber with some wedging. The wedging that came with the Bossa deck, that come with like these little bamboo wedges. So I don't even know what the handles are. But I put, I think it's a 45 little caliber precision whatever thing, cast, whatever, on there on the front, and I think it's maybe a 30 on the back, but their wedging change it, so I don't know what the final angles are. But boy, does it pump nice. It's like a 38-inch Bossa, and I never thought I would want to ride a top mount pumper around, but there's that one, and then I have a 42-inch Bossa that I have a set of the more narrow Valkyrie slaloms on, I think the 125s maybe or something, and that one pumps very well too. Again, I'm not big on flex, and the 42 has a cutout and is longer, so it flexes considerably more than the 38. So I may swap those trucks around and see if I like the Valkyries better on the shorter one. But they both are pretty good, and especially the 38. I like taking the 38 and the handboard's pull out, and after I start off, feet not even touch the ground for miles. That's almost insane to me, coming from someone who's pushed a skateboard for like 30 some years or whatever it is. It's crazy to be able to be like skateboard around town without my feet ever touching the ground. I don't know about that. It seems weird. And while I'm talking about setups, those are all the super fun setups. Around town, the polarizers for distance, that Zenit BB with all the other stuff. If I feel like just going out and pumping, one of those Bossas. But probably the other board that I ride the most, if I'm going out for a ride of medium distance, say like 10 miles or less, I still gotta say the super simple Zenit Maze AB with the Rodney Mullen's company, the tie light, it'll come to me, the Tensor tie light trucks in 8.5 inch. They're very low, insanely light on that deck, lowered with the little risers, maybe another 1/4 inch, and then narrow wheels that are kind of small. They're the seismic blast waves. That thing, like that's if I'm going to a town I don't know and I'm gonna have to go get something to eat there, or if I just want to check out a town I don't know when I'm moving around a little bit, that is the setup that's always in the back of my truck. Like, I really, really like that setup for low, easy to push, cruising around. That's a good setup to me. So, that is skateboarding. I don't really, the Exilas, I didn't. Those are fun too. This is like my state of everything that happened in 2024 skateboarding wise. I guess video that I didn't send it to you. I got one of those Heroin makes those curve boards. I got a wide boy, and then I liked it so much I got an Exzilla, and that thing is insane. That it's so different and makes it so fun. You should try one of those if somebody's got one around you, because it's almost like a whole different thing. It's skateboarding, but it's so crazy. Very, very fun. I like that. And I'm almost back to where the path starts, so there's still some minutes, and I'm out of skateboard things off the top of my head. So I'm not going to complain about the shoes anymore, but I know that my feet probably hurt really considerably right now because the toe box is not wide. Don't listen to the review guy. Okay, I think for the rest of the ride, I'm just gonna play some Christmas music because Christmas just happened. So Merry Christmas, and everyone have a Happy New Year. And I'll see you all on a ride or at Ultra Skate or somewhere, hopefully.